everyone, I hope this video finds you all well. We have been having a wonderful week. The smoke has cleared. It is absolutely beautiful. It was a crisp fall morning. My daughter and my son walked to the school bus this morning. We had jackets on. There was no wind. It was so wonderful compared to last week, the week that we had. We ended up doing Zoom all week because of the smoke. So by the time the weekend came, we ended up, the smoke had cleared. My husband and I were like, we all need to just go out as a family, get out of the house and do something fun together because we've been on top of each other, stressed, teaching, all that, wearing multiple hats, all that fun stuff that we've all been going through. So we ended up going mini golfing. It was a blast. It was kind of funny. My teenager ended up going with his friends and we thought he was going to be doing something else. And then we ran into him on our way out from mini golf and he was there with his friends. We were like, oh, hi. It's kind of funny, but yeah, so we've had a wonderful week. I hope you all have had a wonderful week as well. Today, we're going to be doing our week 2 check-in on paycheck number 1. I'll get you switched over to the transaction log and we'll get started. Here we are at my weekly check-in sheet for variable expenses. Right here is the check-in I did last Thursday, week 1. I'll leave that video in the description box below if you want to see how we came to these numbers. Then over here is my transaction log. All of our variable expenses are highlighted in yellow. So I'll go ahead and move up so that you can see week 2 down here. So this is still paycheck number 1. My husband and I get paid every other week. So each paycheck covers 2 weeks worth of variable expenses. And this is going to be for week 2. And the dates we're looking at are from September 17th to September 23rd. I like to show you guys, especially for those of you who are new, just kind of how I add up my variable expenses, because for those of you who have been watching, you are well aware of how horrible I am when it comes to typing multiple numbers into a calculator. So what I do is actually use this remaining column that is, let me see if you guys, this remaining column that is on my transaction log. And what I'll do is, since this is week 2, and let's find groceries. So I find the last purchase I made within that category, which we're going to start with groceries. And I know I budget $400 for 2 weeks worth of groceries. And we are under budget, that's what that plus means, by $19.15. That's how much we spent in the last 2 weeks, is a $380.85. Since this is week 2, to find out how much I spent this week, I subtract what I spent last week, the $236.63, and that tells me how much I spent on groceries this week. So what I'll do is go ahead and write that down over here. And so that was $144.22, and again, we were under budget by $19.15. For the sake of saving time, because usually the second week check-ins usually take a bit longer because there's just more calculations to do, I've gone ahead and added everything up ahead of time. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug in these numbers. Eating out, again, as I mentioned, we ended up going miniature golfing. And there is just this really cool fun center where we live at. There's just lots of different family activities that you can do. And I added these two together. So we spent $97.82 this week. We ate out. I got a pizza. We got Chick-fil-A that night that we went out with the kids last Saturday. And we got $20 for an arcade that we just put on like a little arcade card that they have. And then I think the golf was, let me see, I have it written over here. Oh, I put 54, so the $20 was included for that. The golf was $34, which was actually not too bad. And then here's our Chick-fil-A, $26.54. And then next, household and pets. I had spent so much last week. Or actually, no, I haven't even spent much this paycheck. It was paycheck number 2 for the month of August that we spent a lot, and I just kind of got loaded up on things. So I didn't have to spend much this paycheck. We still have $102.44 remaining from the $125 I budget for that category. For gas, we spent $72.85. We were over budget a little bit. I kind of got behind on when I top off my gas tank. I usually try to refill it when it gets to about half a tank, just so that I'm not having old gas, to kind of mix the old gas with the new gas. According to my husband, it makes the car run better. I know nothing of these things, so I'm just like, okay, yep, I'll do that. So I'm kind of off schedule with that because I'd had something with my work schedule where I was working later shifts and couldn't make my usual runs. I fill up my gas at Costco. So yeah, that's kind of why we ended up over budget for $18.74 on gas. I budget $150. For me, I spent $1.30. I always pack my lunch for work. I do like breakfast and lunch and a snack. And I had forgot to grab a granola bar with my apple, and the cafeteria was open, so I got some eggs, some scrambled eggs. That was the $1.30. But I'm gonna put in to the side of this $40 because I transfer whatever's left over to the My Face category. It's a sinking fund for my beauty purchases. I just bought some Latisse. I'm super excited. I have a virtual appointment with the doctor on Thursday to get those. But so I was over budget, or I mean under budget by $38.70, but I'm actually zeroing that out. So it's $38.70 that's going to go to my sinking fund for my more expensive beauty purchases. Let's see, my oldest, he did not spend anything this week. He has been really rocking it with his own side hustles, you guys. He put out an ad just to, I guess, solicit his services on a next door neighbor app that we have. And there's a lot of people, you know, we live in a smaller community of like either retired people or families, young families. And so he's been able to rake in some bucks, which has been awesome. So like when he went out with his friends, he had his own money. So I'm really proud of him for taking the initiative on that. And none of the little kids spent anything. Let's see, unbudgeted, hallelujah, we didn't have anything this week. I had enough last week. So we were over budget by $85.28. Overall this week, counting the $40 that I'm not counting $1.30, I'm counting $40 into this total. That equals $380.82. And then we were over budget. We would have been under budget if I had not done my face transfer, but we still did really good. We rallied. We were over budget by $16.40 for the last 2 weeks of variable expenses. That takes care of all of my yellow boxes. Now what I'll do is get you guys transferred over to my paycheck budget sheet, and we'll wrap up the reconciliation. Here we are at my paycheck budget sheet. Paycheck number 1, you can see we've already had some things trickle in just from, again, our week 1 check-in last Thursday. I'm just going to start at the top here with income. If you like the look of these sheets or any of the sheets I use, I do have an Etsy shop. I'll leave a link in the description box below if you want to check it out and see if these look like they'd be helpful for you. There were a couple of incomes or green boxes that came in. Income number 3 came in as expected at $9.15. I had told you guys there was a refund from a vacation that we had planned this summer that was canceled. We were still waiting for, and that ended up coming through. I was super pleased with that. We've been fully refunded for the most part for our vacation, which, you know, is more than we can ask for. So what I will go ahead and do is write down the $9.15 that came in, and then we had our extra, that $134. That was our refund. Now what we can do, since this is paycheck number, or since this is week 2, we'll go ahead and total everything out. We have $29.13.70 plus $10.19.33 plus $9.15 plus $134. Let me just make sure I put everything in there right. Okay, we're looking good. All right, so we actually got $4,982.03 of income for paycheck number 1. Now what we'll do is go over our bills or our fixed expenses, and that's this table right here, and then my pink check boxes. I'll go ahead and check off these 2 incomes that came through. We'll start at the top here with the home equity line of credit. That came out as expected at the $91.25. Daycare, check that off. Let's see, I do have a second. I'm just gonna go down the line this way, that'll be easier. Okay, so sewer, that came out as expected. It's very consistent at $46.56. And next was my second savings account, and we did deposit $300 into that. Then Apple, which I have not, that's one of my errands. This is a subscription we've attempted to cancel, but thank you to one of you had suggested calling our bank and putting a pause on that. I just have not had a chance to do that yet, but I am going to do that. There's this one that's 99 cents and then another one that's $4.99. And we've called them and asked to cancel. This was back when quarantine had first started. Like, we were all stuck in the house. We just decided to go through our fixed expenses and we had plenty of time. So we called Apple and they had said that we were fine to cancel, and we're still being charged. And this has been months. Let's see. So insurance came out. That was under budget, which I am super pleased with. At $147.52. Daycare is always the same. It's $174. And then our water bill, I am so happy, has come in under budget at $88.94. And then Alexa is her usual $14.99. You guys, I love my Alexa. She's right on our kitchen counter, which is in between our kitchen and our living room. We have music. She's our timer. The kids like to ask her to tell them jokes. She's a good time. When you add all these together, that equals $1,302.02. So we are under budget. Super awesome. I do also have my utility bill tracker. We had 2 utility bills that came out this paycheck. Actually, all of them came out, but I have 2 that I can update today. That is our sewer. It is always this $46.56 for now. And then our water, it's coming down, thank goodness. It was $88.94. There we go. And this will just help me, you'll see me pull this out next year when I do my paycheck budget sheets and I put in my expected amounts. I'll come reference this document. Okay, now we'll come over here to our variable expenses, and that's just adding together these 2 weeks. So here's where you can see that $400 is what I budget for groceries and how much we budget for each variable expense to last us 2 weeks. For groceries, we were again under budget. That total 2 weeks we spent $380.85. I post our menu on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram in the description box below if you want to check it out. But I post our menu every Friday if you want to check out, what we're eating for dinner. But meal planning and how we've changed around our grocery shopping has helped us so much with our grocery budget because it used to be out of control. Gas, I'll write that in red because we were over budget. That was $168.74. My husband, he was also over budget. He spent $65.39. And then mine is just going to be dead on for the $40 because I'm transferring that sinking fund. My oldest, he has been doing his own thing, his own hustle, and so he only spent $1. That was again the juicy fruit gum. So my 2 young ones were over budget, which is really out of the norm for them, but we had kind of gone a little crazy with buying some toys and treats and things, but it's I really don't sweat it too much. It's such is life. We're still living our lives while we're on this journey because it's going to take us years, and I don't want to regret that I had missed out on things because I had been so focused on this journey. And I have kids, like we want to have these happy memories together. Coming down here to my sinking funds, we did have some sinking fund purchases. Those are the blue boxes. So this is like my transaction log for my sinking funds. I know it can kind of be a bit confusing. I like having it all in one place. So this is really my sinking fund transaction log. Let's see, so car maintenance, my husband needed to change the oil in both of our cars. He is a very handy guy. I love him for that. So we save a lot of money on oil changes. And then there was also one for gifts that it was $14.26. And then of course that my face category, that one I am putting in the $38.70. Okay. And I'll be doing my sinking fund closeout video. That should be up on Friday or sometime later this week. So stay tuned for that to see how I use these sheets to close out my sinking funds. Now what we'll do, this is paycheck number 1. So we, as I said, get paid every other week. So 2 paychecks or 4 weeks worth of expenses is what I count as our zero-based budget or our cash flow. So whatever is left over from paycheck number 1 gets completely rolled over into paycheck number 2. It just leaves us a cushion and makes me feel more comfortable. So that's what we're figuring out today. So we have our $49.8203 minus this $1302.02 minus $931.40. Okay, that is awesome, you guys. So we are it's still more than what we had expected. Even though we were over budget, we got in more income. We're under budget on some fixed expenses, so it all came out in the wash. So that's $2,748.61 that we're going to be rolling over to paycheck number 2. So next week when I do my week 3 check-in for paycheck number 2, you'll see in this actual column, I'm going to put in this number, and because that's rollover. Some last little things before we wrap up this video is this debt table. So the HELOC had its minimum monthly payment that came out. And for those of you who have been following, know that when the minimum monthly payment clears, that's when I show the reflection of the interest that is tied into this payment on the ending balance of that debt. So what that looks like, of the $91.25 that was our minimum monthly payment, $48.62 of it was applied towards principal. And the HELOC is our current debt focus. So what I'll do is take the $17,227.01 that we've been chunking away at this $20,000 loan and minus the $48.62 that went towards principal, and that brings it down to $17,178.39. So now we can total all of this out. We'll add together the $2202.43 plus the $699.93 plus the $48.30.12. Okay, we are so close to being in the 50,000s. That's going to be a huge milestone for us. I am so excited to just watch these numbers falling away. All right. And that's going to wrap up this video, you guys. As I said, I'm going to be posting a sinking fund closeout video. There's also going to be my quarterly debt and net worth assessment. I've been waiting to do that one. It's been 3 months. I'm so excited to share that with you guys. That's coming this week. And then there's the Velocity Banking series video number 2 that's coming out. And of course, my time blocking that comes out on Sunday. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're liking the channel and you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you stick around and follow us on this journey. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.